In the quiet hush of an evening room, light fading through half-drawn curtains, a single figure sits with a book or simply gazes out the window. No music plays, no voices fill the air. There is only the soft rhythm of breath and the gentle weight of solitude. This is not emptiness, it is fullness disguised as silence. Across cities and centuries, certain souls have always chosen this stillness over the clamor of company. They are not fleeing others, they are returning home to themselves. In a world that measures worth by connection and noise, these quiet ones move through life like deep water, unseen currents, steady and self-contained. This is the psychology of those who like to be alone, silent yet profoundly self-sufficient. When the door closes and the voices fade, tension held in the shoulders slowly unwinds. The mind, exhausted from translating itself for others, finally speaks in its native tongue. Here, in the absence of witnesses, authenticity arrives without effort. Thoughts unfold at their own pace. Emotions rise and settle without needing explanation. This is not loneliness, it is the gentle recognition that presence of others is not required for presence of self. Many feel this pull early, drawn to corners of libraries, to long walks without destination, to nights when the idea of company feels heavier than the comfort of quiet. Solitude becomes the place where the inner voice is heard most clearly. Some children learn early that the world can be too loud, too demanding, too quick to misunderstand. They retreat not out of fear, but out of sensitivity. The nervous system registers every tone, every glance, every unspoken expectation. Solitude offers regulation, a soft landing after overstimulation. Others grow in homes where emotional safety was scarce. Being alone became the only place trust was certain. Still others discover that their inner world is simply richer than most external ones. Imagination, reflection, and curiosity provide companionship enough. These origins are not wounds to be healed, but quiet adaptations. The child who sat alone under a tree reading was not broken. They were already learning the art of self-sufficiency. Introverted temperaments process stimuli more deeply. The brain's default mode network lights up brightly in rest and reflection. Dopamine pathways reward internal exploration as much as external novelty for some. Studies show that those comfortable alone often score higher on measures of emotional regulation and self-awareness. Solitude allows the prefrontal cortex to integrate experience without interruption. Time alone correlates with increased creativity, problem-solving, and even empathy, because understanding others begins with understanding the vast terrain within. The mind left to its own devices does not drift, it dives. Silence is not absence of thought, but the spaciousness required for thought to breathe and connect. From schoolyards to workplaces, connection is praised as virtue, solitude suspected as flaw. The one who declines invitations feels the subtle judgment, something must be wrong. Guilt creeps in. Am I selfish, cold, broken? Society whispers that fulfillment requires others, that joy must be shared to be real. Even loved ones worry, mistaking quiet for suffering. The solitary soul wrestles with this mirror, wanting to belong, yet knowing belonging often requires performance. The conflict is tender. The ache to be understood battles the relief of not needing to explain. Resistance arises not against others, but against the demand to become someone louder, lighter, less themselves. The realization arrives not as thunder, but as morning light. Solitude is not a deficiency, it is a form of relating to the self, to existence, to the subtle threads connecting all things. Those who thrive alone are not missing something, they have cultivated something rare. Self-sufficiency is not isolation, but a deep well from which empathy can still be drawn. The quiet one learns that presence can be offered without constant proximity. Love can be held in absence as surely as an embrace. The fear of being too much or not enough dissolves when the only witness is the self, and that witness has learned tenderness. The one who likes to be alone no longer defends the choice, it simply is. They move through gatherings with ease, then return to stillness with gratitude. Relationships deepen because they are chosen, not required for survival. The inner world and outer world no longer compete, they inform one another. Silence is no longer escape, but sanctuary. And in that sanctuary, something profound grows. The quiet knowledge that a person can be whole onto themselves and still belong to the human tapestry. The solitary soul, self-sufficient and serene, reminds the rest of the world of a forgotten truth, that being alone is not the opposite of connection. Sometimes it is the deepest form of connection there is.